Trump claims his arrest is imminent and calls for protests, echoing January 6th.
Oh shit, here we go again.
His indictment
Insert
by
the CJ
Manhattan
meme.
grand jury is expected, but its timing is unclear. Oof, what's going to
Let's
happen
go
with this?
south.
With former
Or
President
north.
Donald J. Trump facing indictment by
Yeah.
a Manhattan grand jury, the timing of the charge is uncertain. He declared on his social media site
Can
that he would
it?
be arrested on
go
Tuesday and
that way.
demanded that his supporters protest on his behalf. Mr. Trump made the declaration on his site Truth Social at 7:26 a.m. on Saturday in a post that ended with
Probably get a new weapon here
This
first.
morning, guys. The far and away leading Republican candidate and former President of the United States of America will be arrested on Tuesday of next week. Protest, take our nation back. 2 hours later, a spokesman issued a statement clarifying that Mr. Trump had not written his post with direct knowledge of the timing of any arrest. President Trump is rightfully highlighting his innocence and the weaponization of our injustice system, the statement said.
Oh, I already happened to those.
A lawyer for Mr. Trump, Suzanne R. Nichelis, said that his post had been based on news reports and accused the Manhattan District Attorney's Office of conducting a political prosecution. A spokeswoman for the Manhattan District Attorney's Office declined to comment. Prosecutors working for the district attorney, Alvin L. Bragg, have signaled that the indictment of Mr. Trump could be imminent, but they have not told Mr. Trump's lawyers when the charges, expected to stem from a 2016 hush money payment to a porn star, would be sought or when an arrest would be made. People with knowledge of the matter said. At least one more. What exactly is the charge here? Was it that he,
what's
was it
the actual
that he embezzled
charge?
these funds to do it, or whether he lied about it? I forget what the illegal part
It was
is.
like
I thought
the-
it was like.
Did he like
campaign
pay that
funds
one
he
girl
used
for
to
like
do it?
sex? Is that like prostitution? Like, what's he actually gonna get charged with?
At least one more witness is expected to testify in front of a grand jury, which could delay an indictment that people said. Oh yeah, it might have been campaign finances. Yeah.
Ooh, campaign finance violation stuff.
One of the people said that even if the grand jury would have voted to indict the former president on Monday, a Tuesday surrender was unlikely given the need to arrange
Tuesday
timing,
surrender.
travel, and other logistics.
You'll never catch me alive.
The statement from Mr. Trump's
Very hot.
spokesman did not explain how he landed on Tuesday as an arrest date. One person with knowledge of the matter said that Mr. Trump's advisors had guessed that it could happen around then, and that someone might have relayed that to the former president. Mr. Trump, who declared his third presidential campaign in November
I have any
and is leading
accessories.
his Republican opponents in most polls, faced his first criminal investigation in the late 1970s. He's been deeply anxious for the prospect of arrest, which is expected to include being fingerprinted, one of the people said. What is he? Does he not want his fingerprints?
He has to have been fingerprinted at some point in his life
Other
already.
crimes he's
Like,
worried that he'll match for it. That's kind of weird. When the Trump Organization's former chief financial officer, Alan H. Weaselberg, was arrested in 2021, Mr. Trump watched in horror as television news showed Mr. Weaselberg flanked by officers of the courthouse. The former president said he couldn't believe what was happening.
Now, I must find out all I can about
What's this guy
Octopath
arrested for?
My erstwhile colleague, Det, knows more about arcane study.
Pleaded guilty to 15 criminal charges, including grand larceny, criminal tax fraud, falsifying business records, and falsifying business records on August 18th, 2022.
who's this guy?
He got sentenced to 5 months in jail.
Ooh, mysterious.
Nice.
We're being followed.
It's related to Michael. Yeah, I see. Michael Cohen, Trump's personal lawyer at the start of his presidency, said that Weaselberg had arranged for the Trump Organization to pay Cohen $35,000 a month to reimburse him for hush money. Trump had asked Cohen to pay adult film actress Stormy Daniels in the weeks before the 2016 election to keep her from talking publicly about an affair that she had with Trump. July of 2018, Weaselberg was subpoenaed to testify before a federal grand jury regarding the Cohen investigation. Weaselberg was granted limited witness immunity for his testimony. New York County District Attorney Cyrus Vance Jr. was also investigating Weaselberg when the federal law.
The battle is truly.
Vance issued his opinion as did not extend to state investigations.
Oh, I should have healed before I left. Oops.
Mr. Trump's post urging his supporters to protest and reclaim the nation carried unmistakable echoes of the incendiary messages he posted online in the weeks before the attacks on the U.S. Capitol. In the most notorious of those messages, he announced on Twitter that he would hold a rally in Washington on January 6, 2021. Be there, he told his millions of followers, he would be wild. At that rally on the ellipse near the White House, Mr. Trump told supporters
Oh, that's
to
one
march
thing
to the
he's
Capitol
vulnerable to, at
with the
least.
certification of the 2020 presidential
Nope,
election.
they're not
was taking
vulnerable to
place.
nothing.
He's under investigation by federal prosecutors for his activities before the attack. In Investigators later determined that far-right extremist groups...
We'll just brute force this one out.
Read that tweet posted on Mr.
Lightning. I don't think he has lightning spells. I don't know what that toxic thing is.
Almost immediately spring into action.
Icewind.
Gear, setting up encrypted communications channels, and in one case,
Well,
heavily armed reaction forces to be staged outside Washington for the event.
Get him out of the mix
User
for a
groups like
turn.
the Proud Boys and the 3%er militia movement also started to whip up members. The bellicose language
Anyone vote right?
messaging channels were increasingly filled with plans of rush to Trump's demonstrating aggression and willingness to fight.
Oh, he's about to die.
Bellicose.
Uh-oh.
On Friday evening, Mr. Trump's campaign announced what could be his first rally after an indictment, an event in Waco, Texas,
Hi.
and deadly clashes between federal officials and extremist religious sects
Back to the
that
inn.
occurred
Back
30
to the
years
inn.
ago around this time. New York officials have been discussing security arrangements at the Manhattan Criminal Court in case of an indictment, according to people with knowledge of the planning. It was first reported by NBC News. Mr.
You
Trump
missed
is
us while we were
expected to be
gone.
charged in connection with the hush money payment. His former fixer and lawyer, Michael D. Cohen, made the for Stormy Daniels, who claimed to have had an affair with Mr. Trump.
No,
Mr.
just gonna get
Cohen
back to the inn.
made a $130,000 payment to Ms. Daniels
No.
to bury her story of the affair. The payment came in the run-up to the 2016 presidential election. Mr. Trump subsequently reimbursed Mr. Cohen. Prosecutors are expected to accuse Mr. Trump of
I have to
overseeing
reload.
false recording of the reimbursements in his company's internal records. The records falsely stated that the payments for Mr. Cohen were
Hi,
legal
what are you doing?
expenses.
Hi.
There have been
You
several
miss
signals
us?
that charges
You miss
may
us while
be
we were
imminent.
gone?
Prosecutors gave Mr. Trump an opportunity to testify, a right afforded to people who will soon face indictment, and have questioned nearly every major player in the hush money saga in front of the grand jury. Mr. Trump has denied all wrongdoing, as well as having had an affair with Miss Daniels. Any arrest and processing of Mr. Trump would probably combine the
Because it's like the
routine
funds
steps
he
that
used
every
for the
defendant
hush money
experiences,
came from his
fingerprinting,
campaign funds or
photographing,
something.
with the pomp accorded
That'd be pretty
to a former
stupid.
president whose every move is attended by the U.S. Secret Service. If you're a president in the United States of America,
I have to get you down,
and
bud.
you're in a state
Hey,
prison,
I love you.
did
We
the
gotta get down.
Secret Service protect you in prison? What is even the...
Oh, that's a whole thing too. Like, how does that work?
What's even the protocol for that? That's got to be like a sitcom or something.
Like maybe like
That's-
house arrest or something, I
that's gotta
guess?
be
Like,
like a
can he
crime or
even be in like
such.
the regular system?
Victory
They probably don't have a protocol? Yeah, I would imagine so. Jesus.
Victory shall be mine. I will cut you down. What is the logical course? Oh, ice, here's some proof.
Nice, broke both of them.
The U.S. Secret Service protection would follow Donald Trump to the slammer if he ever ended up there, former agents said.
Now
It's unclear what kinds of accommodations Mr. Trump will receive. It is standard for defendants arrested on felony charges to be handcuffed, but an exception could be made. As he awaits his court appearance, it is possible that for security reasons he will be detained in an interview room or another confined area rather than in a cell. And after Mr. Trump is arraigned, he will almost certainly be released without spending any time behind bars because the indictment is likely to contain only non-violent felony charges. Early Sunday morning, there was little evidence that Mr. Trump's new demand for protests had been embraced by extremist groups, but Ali Alexander, I was supposed to debate this guy 2 days ago, a prominent organizer of the Stop the Steal rallies following the 2020 election, reposted a message on his Telegram channel on Saturday suggesting that he supported a mass demonstration to protect Mr. Trump. Previously, I had said if Trump was arrested or under the
Oh,
threat of
wait, at least now the
law,
ice will break these
100,000
guys.
Patriots would shut down all routes to Mar-a-Lago, Mr. Alexander wrote. Now I'm retired, I'll pray for him though. Without the platform provided by the White House or the machinery of a large political campaign, it's unclear how many people Mr. Trump is able to reach, let alone mobilize with Truth Social. One interesting thing here about banning Trump from Twitter and other social media is we see the downside of that, right? That like, wow, somebody's speech was taken, you're gonna press the United States, it's like pretty spooky, which I think there are fair points there. I've made these points before. However, if it was the case that Trump was still on Twitter and everything, is it possible that there would be mass protests around the country because of things he could be tweeting that people just aren't seeing because
It's
only on
possible.
Truth Social? Interesting thing to think about. It remained unclear whether he would repeat his call for action or increase the stakes.
No, but if you call for a peaceful protest, that's within your First Amendment rights. Just as long as you're not like, hey, go here and destroy
For
stuff,
months,
or go
Mr.
here and be
Trump has been
violent.
attacking Mr. Bragg, who is black, as racist.
Which I think
Mr.
he's
Bragg won a
said a
conviction
lot
for
too.
tax fraud against the Trump organization last year, though he did not charge Mr. Trump personally.
I mean, not that, but I was saying Destiny said the same thing about violent speech versus non-violent speech and how they relate to the First Amendment.
Private club and residence in Florida. In August,
left.
and carted away boxes of documents in an investigation into the former president's handling of classified material.
I'm
Days
surprised
after the
if
search,
I was
an Ohio
surprised.
man who had posted online about his outrage over what happened at Mar-a-Lago tried to reach the FBI's field office outside Cincinnati. He was later killed in a standoff with local officers. The unexpected Saturday morning salvo from the former president provided a preview of the kind of chaos that Mr. Bragg was likely to face if he received an indictment. Mr. Bragg, a former federal prosecutor and deputy New York Attorney General, has some history of prosecuting public officials. He is unaccustomed to dealing with a figure as high-profile, erratic, and pugilistic as the former president, and it is unclear how his office will be in the future.
Pugilistic, I think that means he like fights a lot. Very combative.
Oh, no pronunciation.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
Yeah, how you feeling about it? Potential indictment?
Lap, lap, lap.
Well, I think that's pretty likely to happen, given like.
Not likelihood of happening. What does it mean for our democracy?
What does it mean for our? What do you think? Wait, I'll answer, but I'm just curious. What
I
your
don't. I think
initial
it's really, really, really scary. I'm not sure. Like the idea that a potential president, somebody that could win the election, is
Yeah.
otherwise blocked off due to prosecutorial decisions. Not to say that he didn't earn it, right? Like, I mean, you know,
Right.
if he committed the crime, he committed a crime. But like that's a really scary area to start to get involved in as the United States of America, right? Like, oh, this
Yeah, you
guy
better have him
won,
dead to rights.
you know, an election in the United States, but he was in jail, right? That whole proposition is so much baggage with that, you know?
Yeah. So to reiterate the fear, it's kind of like it feels a little banana republic-y.
Yes.
And that's the kind of stuff that these failed democracies and failed states do, is lock up political opponents. I don't know if you know anything about Peru. What do you know about Peru?
South
Aren't you
America.
Hispanic?
Almost level 10.
We gotta teach you some
Cuban.
Spanish.
Yeah, muy bien. Yeah, what do you want it?
Más o menos, más o menos. Yeah, so in Peru, all like the latest presidents, all the presidents of the past, including I think the recent one who just tried to institute a coup, and an actual he tried to like close down Congress. They're all in jail. You know, one of them who was about to be arrested, named Alan Garcia, shot himself in the head before being arrested. It feels like a never-ending trail of imprisonment. Like the old dictator who's president is in jail, and the fear I think that you're trying to express is that's kind of the shit that happens in these failed democracies.
Yeah. And even
Let's
not
try
even
fire.
so much that
Are you
like
vulnerable?
it is
No.
a banana republic, but just that there's the perception of a banana republic.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that first.
Right,
Are you more concerned with the optics of it, or
I'm
procedural?
only concerned with the optics of it. Because if he did it, then he'd go, right?
Yeah, just as long as you have him dead to
especially
rights. Like if he did it and he committed a crime that's worthy of, putting him in jail for.
Like that. Especially something like related to the political process. Like, especially because, like, bro, this is the.
Damn.
I don't know if this was the case at the time because I haven't studied the Clinton Lewinsky stuff a lot, but I know that my
10.
mom told me, my little Air Force mom,
Hey,
was
Dunkin'
like,
Donuts
"Stevie, you
coming.
don't
Let me check
understand.
on it."
The president of the United States lying under oath is one of the biggest deals possible because the president could become compromised. Do people know? And I think that was actually the argument for Flynn. That Flynn was
the
saying
argument
things,
for it.
that were demonstrably untrue to other politicians, and if people knew he was lying,
still got time.
that could be used as leverage. So yeah, when we're talking about like bribes related to the political process, and everything, yeah, fuck him. He should absolutely have the book thrown at him. So I'm talking about the perception of it, the optics, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess let's start with the procedural
snowy
constraints
area.
on what is the significance, if you remove the optics, what is the significance of an indictment or a conviction on President Trump's or former President Trump's potential campaign?
Yeah, I don't know. Is he not allowed to run or something, or what are the restrictions on that?
I don't think that there's any reason why President Trump would be precluded from becoming the president or from running for office because he's arrested or he's been convicted of a crime and is in jail.
Damn.
I think that there's precedent of that.
I'm gonna have to get him some more
I think his name was
armor.
Debs, the socialist
Level him up a little
candidate in
bit.
the early 20th century.
Come on,
got,
move to
like,
fire, come on.
votes running for
Yeah.
from prison because he had been arrested on something like that. And so as there are some bars to public office based on impeachment and like rebellion and insurrection, that kind of stuff. But not that I'm aware of any reason why you couldn't he couldn't run for office
right in front of me
based on a prosecution or an indictment.
Hey.
And we're talking about, if we're talking about a grand jury in the state of New York,
up there.
we're probably talking about a felony. In fact, grand
Good
juries
boy.
are usually in New York are impaneled and are you need to have, in order to have an indictment on a felony, you need to have a grand jury usually in most cases. There are some exceptions there that don't quote me on. And so I do not think that there will be any bar for him running. So far, like, so good, right? I mean, we're not making any additional requirements to be the president of the United States. We're not changing the Constitution, and he's free to run. But there obviously are going to be political implications of that, which I think is the thing that you're most concerned about.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you more concerned with the fact that he could be indicted, or that he would never be indicted? If we live in the other world,
well, both would be pretty bad. But I'm worried that like he gets indicted, and then it's like it becomes such like fodder for Republicans and all the people that already feel like the election was rigged. Imagine you've got a group of people that think the last election was
just
rigged,
targeting him. Like we can sense the weakness.
Arrested, or indicted, charged, convicted.
So do you think this is serious enough for you to rise to the level of worth doing?
Like,
do you know what's going on here?
Do I know what's going on?
Yeah, but like the facts of what's going on, or what's suspected to be
him up to 7.
My understanding is that he lied about political payments. I'm sorry, he lied about payments to Cohen.
Yeah, like if he's smuggling
like
political finance stuff and spending it on personal stuff, like
bribing,
fine him or charge him.
I think she's
like that's perfectly reasonable.
Stormy Daniels. He bribed her as hush money for an affair that he had. And Trump, when he compensated Cohen with, I think it was campaign funds, he lied about why he was compensating him. I think. Right?
And he said for legal purposes.
Yeah, so it's for legal purposes. Yes.
Yeah. So I guess I'll start with the first act there, which is, do you think that it should be against the law if Trump had not done to just pay someone for a non-disclosure agreement? What next? And in exchange for not talking about this story,
I don't think that's against the law, is it?
No, I don't think it is, and I don't think it should be. Newspapers and magazines do this all the time. Right? They'll purchase a story and they'll have exclusive rights to it. And so we don't really care. It's not a bribe in the sense of what we're talking about, where it's like corruption stuff, right? Where it would be in exchange for some kind of improper service. The overlying deal seems like totally fine. Like if Trump wants to pay to have I don't know. What do you think? Because there's a lot of controversy about that with respect to Me Too stuff, where powerful people have had NDAs with people that they've had sex with. Do you think that is?
I mean, assuming they have good legal representation and they agree to it, no, I don't think there's necessarily a problem there.
Like NDAs are fine. You can just choose to not sign it and not do whatever you're talking about.
Okay, so we're cool on that. And so the only problem would be the way that the payment was made and what its purpose was. Yeah. With respect to either campaign finance laws or any state-related fraud and tax stuff, right? Or business record stuff. So the underlying facts are, I think that there were, I'm not an expert on this, I'm somewhat read into it, but not a ton. But as I recall it, there were 2 women with stories prior to the 2016 election that had alleged an affair with Trump. In the first...
He's probably had a bunch of affairs,
the first woman, she went to the National Enquirer or some other equivalent organization, and it wasn't Stormy Daniels, to pay for them and paid in exchange for like $150,000, something like that, to have the exclusive rights to the story. And Michael Cohen kind of worked with National Enquirer and that magazine in order to facilitate that payment. And the argument from the federal prosecutor, from this federal campaign finance law, is what's for Michael Cohen stuff. Is that this amounted to a violation of that, because he was making another corporation. Corporations are not allowed to give contributions to campaigns. I'll say it again. Corporations are not allowed in federal law to give contributions to political campaigns.
Correct. This is why they use like the super PAC route and everything.
Well, not directly, but a corporation can certainly
individual expenditure. So corporations are free to like you know, spend
sure,
money
so
on
just
ads,
as a company
right?
directly
and
can't,
spend money
but
on themselves, but
individual people
contributions
from the
are
company
banned
can.
from corporations. And so Michael Cohen induced this payment, and the argument goes this payment was to help Trump in the campaign by not having that story be released. And then with the Stormy Daniels one, he actually paid it himself through some kind of shell entity.
Oh, did I go way too far?
Stormy Daniels.
That where I am?
And that payment was above the threshold of like whatever $2,000 that he's allowed to give
for personal whatever bullshit.
For personal stuff. And so that was also a
Oh, maybe I have to go
contribution
up this way and down. I want her to get over there to hand
so
it.
that all seems above board. That all seems fine. What's the
Wait,
problem
what do you
with
mean
Trump?
it seems fine?
That all makes sense, right?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Makes
It's not
sense
fine.
that-
It's
yeah.
not above board. It was
It's not fine, right?
Okay, yeah.
It's violating the law.
Yeah.
Now,
Why do you think Trump should be in trouble for that?
Because I think that Trump directed those payments to go and lied about what they were for, right?
victory.
That's the issue, I think.
If Trump had actually used campaign funds to pay Stormy Daniels directly, would you have a problem with that? Or do you,
Mine would just come down to a matter of law. Is that legal or illegal? Like, let's say I'm running for office and I think there's some information that might be damaging to me. Could I use campaign funds to cover that comment? I don't. If it's legal, then it doesn't. On its face, it doesn't seem like it would be illegal to me. It doesn't seem like a bad thing, but.
right. So, like, I think that in those, I'm not an expert on campaign finance law, so just putting that out there, so someone might know better than me. But if you're using, just like you would any other contract, campaign funds are used to buy contracts with, like, you know, music artists, to buy all sorts of things. And so why would it be, as long as you know what you're when you're soliciting funds, that they know that it's going to you for whatever the purpose that you might think.
Yeah.
I don't know if there would be a problem with that. But if Trump got a contribution, that is the payment to Stormy Daniels or the payment to the other woman at National Enquirer, and didn't disclose it, that could potentially be a problem under campaign finance law, because you're supposed to disclose all contributions.
Didn't, right?
Okay, he's rolling a roll to it too.
Even though
That's,
he did not make an unauthorized contribution, if you knowingly
he's not vulnerable with that.
received one and didn't disclose it, that could be a problem. The federal prosecutors aren't going after him for that, though. And federal prosecutors are the ones who have jurisdiction over federal crimes.
Oh, nice. He's running over the fire and state from that guy. So that worked out good.
State prosecutors in Manhattan, DA, is going after Trump for roughly the same conduct. We don't actually know what the charges are going to be, but related to falsification of probably business records or maybe like money laundering or something like that, where he's falsifying because he's saying that he's using this money for legal expenses when he knows he's not. He's using it as hush payments, but would otherwise potentially be acceptable expenditures, would be a violation of the law under New York state law.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's serious enough to get him indicted on a felony, the former president?
I mean, if he's breaking the law, he's breaking the law, right? Especially related to like campaign or business related stuff. Like, yeah, I think it's in the wheelhouse of like his job as a fucking politician, right?
Yeah, like if he fucked up and he used political funds when he could have just used his own personal funds and done the same thing, then that's kind of on him.
Misdemeanor offense. Would you want him to be arrested for it? Would you want him to have to go up and surrender to the police and to the prosecutor's office?
I think it would depend on what the misdemeanor offense was.
Yeah, I think it's tough.
Yeah. Like let's say that he was driving on like on an expired license because he hadn't re-registered when he was like president, and he gets pulled over while driving or something, and it's like this is technically like a class C misdemeanor. Like, probably not at that point.
Damn, he's not vulnerable to anything.
There's much discretion from the officer there. But for something like this, I mean, like, it feels like as president of the United States, like, this is actually kind of something that's like right in your wheelhouse, right? How you're directing campaign contributions. Well, it was in the service of him becoming president, right? That's why those payments were made.
But the contributions that if they were made, or that they were made, were before he was president.
Yeah.
But presumably the payments to Cohen occurred after he was president. So his conduct while he's president of the United States.
Yeah.
Damn.
I guess, and also conduct before that.
Nice. That level up was a pretty good time.
I think that the more serious offenses relate to the election stuff and relate to the classified document stuff. and I'm concerned.
Well, I don't know
think
about that yet. I don't know. Can we know?
What's that?
Or wait, which ones are we talking about specifically?
The investigation in the Atlanta
S&M.
investigation in Georgia related to his phone calls with both the Secretary of State's office in Georgia.
Oh, are those investigations still alive?
Yeah.
I thought we just moved
are
on
live.
from that, and we were like, "Fuck it,
Nah,
just did that."
That's
we just
alive.
accepted it and moved on.
That's alive. And also the January 6th one that's being investigated by federal prosecutors in the classified documents case. Those are still alive. And I think that those ones are more serious.
Yeah, I would agree.
And
But if the New
I'm
York one is
concerned-
moving along quicker, or yeah, sorry, what are you concerned about?
I'm concerned about what you're concerned about, which is that there'll be a sense of illegitimacy if this case does not stick and if it's not rock solid. Because before it was looking like the Manhattan DA's office wasn't going to prosecute this particular thing, and for whatever reason now they're doing it. Maybe because they got new evidence or something.
Here's
Trump is
like
calling
so
on- yeah, go ahead.
here's like an interesting thing from a prosecutor point of view is, do they need to be thinking more politically when it comes to doing these charges? Because I imagine you probably find a big division in some of these places where like, my job is to do legal stuff and fuck politics, whereas for other people I'm sure that they're right, like this was like the Comey dilemma, right? Like, okay, well maybe your job is to have a greater responsibility too. I'm thinking a lot of the Andrew Tate case, that like they have a job to, you know, restrain him for up to 180 days while they finish their investigation. Like, what if it was the case that this was like, maybe they were like, for any other person, we would definitely hold them on this, even if it's not like the greatest grounds. So, you know, for Andrew Tate, we'll do it. But and then let's say that Andrew Tate gets released, and it's like, well, you know, there is a world where Andrew Tate gets released after 180 days, and they don't file charges. But like, everything was fine. It's just how they normally conduct it. He did have a lot of shady shit. They investigated, they found nothing. But like, politically, that's gonna look fucking insane to everyone. Yeah. So should that be? I wonder. But then also, it's like, is there like a greater threshold of evidence? Because now, if you start to consider that politically, you actually created a world where wealthy people live by different rules, right? Like if you were Joe Schmo, you'd be in jail for 6 months while we investigate it. But since you're really famous on the internet, we're gonna give you a bit more leeway to make sure we're extra safe about how we do things. You know? Is that okay?
I think that it cannot possibly be the case that when you're a prosecutor looking into the former president or someone else in the polls, that plays no consideration in how you proceed with the case or how you think about the case. You know, I'm okay with a prosecutor's office charging regular people before elections, but I'm not okay with you charging people related to those elections a month before the elections, or since none of the serious investigatory steps before the election. And so there is a kind of
probably depending on what's going on though, right? Like if Trump murdered somebody, then yeah, so that's not a principled position. That's like we're looking at it's like a consequential. We're trying to figure out like, okay, well, what's so bad that it has to be charged versus like what's like maybe we should hold off on this. That's a really hard thing.
What is that threshold for you? What would be justification to charge Trump right before the election? Let's say.
I feel like it's one of those like the Supreme Court thing. Like I'll know when I see it. I feel like it's just one of those you gotta have to feel it. Like I said, for like a speeding ticket, probably not. For any sort of
driving.
Yeah, that's a harder one. What if it's like drunk driving? What if it's drunk driving where like he gets pulled over, he blows like right at the limit, and it's like whatever? Versus what if it's a drunk driver where he's pulled over because of like fucking willful reckless endangerment, and they're like holy shit, and he's like totally wasted, right? But I don't even like, and I'm sure there's a lot of prosecutors or people in the system that would agree, like, it probably doesn't feel good to ever think about this. You don't ever want to be thinking about, like, what are the political consequences.
I think we're going to try to get this person next. I think they're kind of like a hunter. Like they have like a companion thing that comes with them.
What? Yeah, I mean, because like for the validity of your institution, maybe that's like the most important thing to keep in mind. You know?
Yeah, I mean, Alvin Bragg is putting...
She is a hunter.
He's about to have what I think, because I think what's going to happen is that he's going to get indicted by a grand jury. He's about to have the entire world looking at him. This has never happened before. And if you have some
shit might get
like
crazy.
Lisa Page, Peter Strzok stuff going on in the office.
Oh yeah, like
that
just
entire
one leak.
office was
and everybody's cell phones are going to be looked at. Every reporter is going to be looking for fucking leaks. Everybody, yeah, like you said, with a magnifying glass, every single thing is going to be analyzed so hard.
Like this election cycle is going to be crazy.
Made a post on Instagram where you said fuck Trump or anything like that? Yeah.
The Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, has said that he's interested in investigating the investigators and looking into it. And charges haven't even been filed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because we technically don't even know. It looks like it, but we technically don't even know if it's
that one has like a
this
cougar.
Is
That one has like a
we
wolf.
don't know what's going to happen in response to this. And think about what do you think that the Trump people in the right wing they're going to abandon Trump because of this?
Wow.
Be honest.
If he's
I think the
guilty?
people that are gonna vote for Trump are gonna vote for Trump no matter what. The people who wouldn't vote for Trump wouldn't vote for him no matter what.
Red pill people, the Sneakos, what's this guy?
No.
Adrian Ross.
Oh no, the non-politicians.
There's no world.
No.
Yeah.
Literally, the most prescient thing that Trump has ever said is he could shoot somebody on what, like 6th Avenue or some shit, and nobody would care.
Facts.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's actually
Facts.
true. I don't think Trump could do anything at this point to dissuade his, unless he turns his back on like the populist stuff. Like probably one of the most unpopular things he has amongst his followers is being pro-vaccine because he wants to take credit for it so much. So yeah, as long as he maintains like the whole Matrix fucking the deep state shit, I don't think anybody would ever pull away from him.
So what's the risk to Trump? Is it just donors? Is it what is it?
Cheap in the end.
What's the risk of Trump conviction?
Trump being indicted. Is there
his
a
hardcore
risk?
supporters won't, but it's going to give a lot of
No
ammunition
gambling.
to like the DeSantis side.
How many people gambling dead in
Damn,
this
I
game?
can't imagine him, but I couldn't imagine a lot. But I can't imagine him surviving a fucking primary where I feel like I would just
Made
run
that
clips
shit up.
back to back to back of him saying like, if you're under investigation by the blah blah blah, you shouldn't be running for. And then it's just like Trump convicted, you know, February 27th, 2023. It was just played over and over and over and over and over again. If I was DeSantis, and it's like, holy shit, and he did it. And not only did he do it, but especially if he's against somebody cleaner like DeSantis, assuming DeSantis is cleaner, he did it to fuck a porn star behind his wife's back. Yikes, fam. Maybe for younger conservatives, because these guys have no values and no principles. And for like older people, like that shit kind of oof. That shit's a little oof, I think.
Yeah. Here's a scenario I want you to consider.
Hail, honey.
Consider that President Biden loses the election and loses to Trump, and the matters don't conclude. And let's say that. First of all, should the matters continue? If Trump is elected president and he has this indictment and let's say one or two other indictments related to one of the federal investigations and maybe even the Georgia one, should those criminal actions proceed when he assumes the office?
I don't know. Wasn't that untested legal ground that we weren't sure if you can you investigate a sitting president for like a crime?
I wonder how many people you could have in your party. I wonder if it's 3 or 4.
OLC, which the Office of Legal Counsel, is a component of the Department of Justice.
Because if I pick up this hunter, I should
legal
probably
advice
get
to
like a
various
healer person.
agencies, as well as the DOJ. The current opinion of the OLC is that a sitting president cannot be federally indicted. There is no consensus though on state indictments, and this would be post-indictment activities.
Yeah,
So
this is
let's say
why I heard. Obviously, these are all just like names, but that was why people were saying that Trump was really scared of losing the election, was because New York could go after him or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Although actually, wait, I guess that's not the federal one, so I don't even know why people were saying it. But I heard that was one of the things. Maybe because he could pardon himself or something. But yeah, I don't know. But go
He
ahead.
can't pardon himself for state offenses, but
He
let's say that
can't?
he's
Okay.
convicted, and let's say he has to go to jail for a year.
know not if it is human
What happens if he's in jail? Does the Constitution say that he has to be let out? I mean, he can't be president and be in a correctional facility, can he?
Right?
pretenses?
How wild would that be?
That's nuts.
We also don't know what like this. If he goes.
There was a guy here in California who was in prison at the
I think
time.
they would.
I think he was a senator or a congressman,
what,
and he
Gen
won
Pop?
like an
Yeah, I
election
know,
in
that's
like San
I don't know,
Francisco
just
while he was
wacky as fuck.
incarcerated.
Yeah.
It's freaking wild.
This is so messed up.
Yeah.
And we haven't had to face this for so long, I think, because of norms. I think we talk about this all the time, that so much of our...
Yeah, because usually people that are to be president aren't doing these types of stupid fucking crimes.
And, you know, he's a resident of Florida. I don't actually know what the law is about felons voting in Florida, but like, is there a world in which Trump could be a convicted felon and not
can't
allowed to
vote
vote
in the state that he
of Florida?
resides. Yeah.
And he's president?
how crazy that like, because isn't there always like a picture or like video of like the president voting for themselves with their family or whatever?
Yeah,
Imagine if like
always,
Trump
yeah.
misses that photo op because he's fucking not legally allowed to vote.
Yeah, I don't know if you have to in Florida. You have to be convicted in Florida for that to apply. I actually don't know.
Get a better vote for her.
What the law is, and I think they might have actually passed a law to try to enfranchise people again. So I'm not sure about that, but it is the case that in some states that felons aren't allowed to vote.
I don't
so
have
I'm
money.
curious,
No, I'm
what are
poor.
the ramifications of Trump if he is convicted? In all likelihood, I don't think there's a world in which Trump is going to plead guilty to any of these offenses. And even if he's not convicted in time for, let's say if he hypothetically wins, what about trials, right? Is there a trial going on during Trump's second term if he wins?
Like imagine you've got like the president like doing the State of the Union, and then like the next day it's like court TV with him sitting like
I see.
while cross-exam is happening for like fucking Jesus Christ. It's just like it's so wild in so many different ways, right?
Yeah, I honestly don't think. I think this is the bet that Republicans have made. And if you were to give me a bet right now, and I had to bet $1 million on who was going to win this nomination, you know, indictment or no indictment, my vote's Trump every single time.
You really think
I
he's
don't know
winning
if
over DeSantis still?
Yes.
I don't know.
Why is that?
I think DeSantis has a real shot, but if you were to be honest with yourself, Destiny, right now, $1 million, you have to. You have
I
to
think
bet on
DeSantis
one
is more
person
electable.
to be the Republican nominee. Who are you putting that money on?
I feel like DeSantis would do it right now, but I'm not sure. I could be wrong. Trump, I think, is still winning in the polls, but I don't know nationally. I feel like DeSantis could do a lot on the campaign trail that he hasn't had the chance to yet, right? People get a little bit of him in like the news and everything, but he hasn't really gotten to like flex his political chops like on a presidential campaign trail like Trump did. So it might be the case that when more of like Republican America is more broadly exposed to him, they get a more favorable opinion of him, and then that becomes like, or maybe not. I don't know. But that's just, I'm not sure.
If DeSantis does win, and Trump is under like criminal process or whatever, continuing what's going on in New York, what does Trump do if DeSantis
I think he
wins?
still
Does
tries to
does
run
he support
as independent.
DeSantis?
No, Trump never ever. He didn't even fucking go to the he didn't go to Biden's like inauguration, right? Isn't he like
That's
the
kinda
first president
crazy.
to ever do that?
Yeah.
Why the fuck
Yeah,
would he
first one
support
I know.
DeSantis? Yeah, I don't think.
The first one
He'd
not
be
going
so fucking
inauguration.
salty.
First one to like not.
In which case, I
like
think
the whole
Republicans
peaceful
are
transition of power.
Yeah, no, I think no matter what, the
Fortune
Republicans are fucked right now.
Fortune smart.
Because
Fight me,
because
kid.
you have like because Trump's fan base represents a significant part of the Republican
Aha.
Party, right? They're totally
100%.
fucked. Yeah.
And Trump's gonna eviscerate
They're letting us fight kids today.
DeSantis, or we're gonna try to.
Yeah, of course. He already did Meatball Ron and all like, yeah, he's already the pedo grooming shit. Like, yeah, of course, yeah, you'll try
It's
to.
gonna be no holds barred, and he's. It's not gonna be like one of those things. It's gonna be like the Bernie supporters who couldn't bring themselves to support Clinton.
Yeah, but they were such a minority of the
They're
Republican.
such a minority, right?
The Democratic Party.
But
Yeah.
think about how
Their moves are
Trump,
interesting.
There are, I think, what do you think? 20% of Republican voters at least who only want Trump and will do whatever Trump says.
I think that number is way higher. Yeah.
Excellent.
And the only places where that hasn't turned out are like in state elections with very popular governors. But even there, right? Even there, the Trump candidates have like a very strong showing against incumbent Republican governors, right? They're losing by 10, 15 points or something, but they're still gathering 20, 30% of the population, or the Republican voters. And so I think the Republicans are fucked. But if Biden loses, or if, let's say that for whatever reason Biden can't run,
Yeah.
I see.
the
What if they
worst
brought back
possible
Hillary
scenario
and it was
would
like
be-
Hillary Trump 2.0?
I think it intensifies the danger if Trump gets in office.
What do you mean? It
And-
intensifies the danger.
The indictments, because I think that will absolutely unhinge Trump in every conceivable way, and that the next 4
More
years,
unhinged?
I don't even know if we'll have a country anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I mean,
We need to get over this. We need to pass this kidney stone. That is Donald Trump.
but you're fighting like Zoomers who support him.
Nah, they're not even politically fucking relevant. I think the biggest issue is the older contingent of people that are still like January 6th wasn't all Zoomers, right? It was mainly like middle-aged older people. If you looked outside and shit, like
Yeah.
fat olding or bowling Republican.
I'm not trying to blame all the Zoomers, but there's something about Trump that hasn't gone away, and and people are enamored by him, and nothing he'll do will change their mind.
This.
And I think that's
Yeah, it's like the
that's
meme
very
power, whatever.
scary.
Right? Yeah, it is scary, but I mean that's.
yeah.
Truly.
It's official. The massive advantage of Diablo.
Oh, and this is saying there might be like a pay-to-win thing with the deluxe edition of Diablo 4.
I am ready.
Okay, so gamers all around the world, no matter your genre preference, are eagerly anticipating the release of Diablo 4. The action RPG set in the dark-grim world of Sanctuary is going to be on everyone's must-have game list in 2023.
A lot
And
of
this is
people.
all happening prior to the game's actual release.
Yes, that's whenever people are excited about the game. Whenever the game comes out, that's whenever they hate it.
And if you're on the fence, I'm going
Yay.
to be breaking down each of the editions available, as well as which option will be the best choice for you to purchase. Before we dive too deep into this topic, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to stick around until the end of the video to see how you can earn a free copy of Diablo 4 from the Comeback Kids. Now, Diablo 4 is going to have an early access beta on March 17th.
Let us fight with
This
I
is
miss
a
early access, so without a challenge,
exclusive
but I'll be able to do the open beta.
Diablo 4 is
Pre-order the game, you can play the game this week coming up. There's also, if you go to KFC and get a double down, you can play it as well.
How about you? Out of my way!
PC, Xbox, and PlayStation consoles.
With each
there are
battle,
going to be
I
four
grow
versions
stronger.
to choose from.
Right.
You have the Standard Edition, the Deluxe Edition, and the Ultimate Edition. You also have a physical collector's edition, which we'll tune in more on later. Now, if you pre-order
By the way, guys, the physical collector's edition, I don't know what genius at Blizzard thought of this, but it doesn't include the game.
What?
Maybe they changed it by now, but yes, it doesn't. I remember they.
Are they gonna still make
I
you like
don't-
just digitally
who thought
download it
this
instead of
was a
giving you
good
a
idea?
physical game with a physical copy of the
these
game?
versions digitally, this does not mean you get the actual in your hands physical copy of the game,
Right.
which is
You get a
honestly an
code.
incredibly common thing nowadays. So now let's break down the Standard Edition of Diablo 4. It is the
Let us
cheapest of all of
begin.
them, and it is the one most of the player base is going to buy.
So this is for poor
The
people
battle
who can
is
only spend $70 on a video game. Obviously.
I will cut you down!
Everyone's used to a game being the normal $60 price, but things are now starting to change with the base game cost being at $70. For pre-ordering the Standard Edition, it includes early access for Diablo 4 beta,
Let the
so players
hunt
will be able to
begin.
return to Sanctuary early even in this edition. Players will also get the Lightbearer amount in game,
What
and
next?
World of Warcraft, the Amalgam of Rage.
I have it.
In addition to all this, for Diablo 3 players, you get
Oh, I wonder if you
various
could capture, like,
wings and
newbies,
various
too.
Battle is
pets,
truly
and they
joy.
also receive the Umber Wing Darkness cosmetic set for this standing
my way.
Oh, Diablo Immortal! Wow, that looks great, guys. Holy shit!
Hey, I would say honestly, even if you're considering buying the game, this is going to be the go-to option with you now being able to play
What
free
next?
testing weekend, and you get a really great pre-order that's exclusive as well. I personally don't care about any of the extra cosmetic stuff.
Yeah, let's capture the first Ratkin.
It could be for
Let's
you also.
go.
Moving on to the next higher edition, it's going to be the digital deluxe edition.
Yeah, he attack all with
Digital
bow, but
Deluxe
we already
edition
have a
of
bow
Diablo 4
attack.
costs
Is there like a limit on how many
$90.
creatures I can like capture?
All the content that comes with the standard edition.
Hmm.
You also get a
I don't wanna waste it on him if that's the
massive game
case.
changer that is honestly a bit much now.
Well,
Players
I'll
will be
chance
able to
it.
play the full release of Diablo 4 up
Thou
to
didst
4
fight
days early.
Here's the truth.
4-day early access. For which version
Is
is
it
that?
unfair? Yes. Does it pay to win? Yes. If I ran a game, would I do this? Yes.
Oh, you get 4 days early access if you pre-order it?
It is such
The
easy
deluxe edition?
fucking money that any company
Let us
that
fight
doesn't
with
do this is just deleting money.
Now, what next?
That's just the truth. It is simply
Oh,
massive
flames!
because
Rain!
everybody wants to play it on the day
Victory
one. They
shall
wanna
be
play
mine.
it as soon as it comes.
I will cut you down!
This capitalizes.
Bam.
With each battle, I grow stronger.
It might not be fair, and it's not. But it's such a massive advantage and such a big thing. Like, think about it with Lost Ark. Here's a great example. Is with Lost Ark, over 500,000 people bought the early access.
Uh-oh.
It was like half of the entire player base bought the early access. Think about that. It works. Hogwarts Legacy did it too. That's right.
There's a murderer on the loose.
Every game should do this. From a business perspective, not from a gamer perspective, but from a business perspective, every game
Wolfie.
should do this.
Other Wolfie.
This is an absolute massive head start if you're able to get
Was it
this version
you?
and play the game 4 days early. I personally don't
Oh,
like
no, it
the
wasn't them.
idea
They're
of
good
this
boys.
being a thing, you know,
True,
spend
but I hate it.
$20
Yes.
more and get a big head start over everyone that's, you know, either casual or just not interested in spending the money, or they just don't have the money. I don't know, to me that doesn't feel too right. I always love the idea of everyone starting
If
to launch
thou
the game
wilt.
at the same time.
Yeah, but not everybody's the same because
Thou hast
some people spend $90 and some people spend $70. So how can you do the same as somebody else if you have different amounts of disposable income? You're clearly two different classes. So obviously, you want to profit.
Unacceptable.
That's how it works.
Are you gonna be able to stream the 4 days early access stuff though?
I mean, you
That's
think
my
about it,
question.
right? In an airplane, you have fucking preferred seating. You have sitting in economy. You have Spirit Airlines, which is like
In Spirit Airlines, where you're lucky to like get to your destination at all.
Like that. You have first class and then like first advantage, which is like you pay extra money and you get the same chair. Like it's just nuts. There are all these different ways that they upsell you. Every single game out
Now,
there
let
does
us hunt him.
so you shouldn't be surprised if our games do it too. That's it. Also helps them understand the support model for the game up front. Oh,
No, I will cut you down!
that's the reason. Real life games,
Come in,
yeah,
if thou darest.
there it is.
The hunt ends.
If somebody buys me, like company buys me, or like another company buys me first class ticket, great, awesome. But for me, I have no problem. I scoot in there with two big old beaky boys, and we'll sit there, and it's fucking fine. I got no problem with it. It is what it is. Life is good.
And to me, it just feels like you're splitting the player base right in half at the launch of the game immediately. On top of that, with this edition, you get in-game items as well. Players will receive the Temptation Mount and the Hellborn Carapace
What
Mount armor.
next?
Aside from items, the Digital Deluxe Edition includes the Block, which does not come with the Battle Pass itself. This will be sold separately.
I will cut you down!
This is another thing that they do now, is they have so they have
Flames, rain, wrong!
right, is you have the
I will not be thy prey.
Victory shall be mine! I will cut you down!
Letting the hunt begin.
There we go. Wait, did that say like Battle Pass?
and then super premium.
Yeah, the monetization schemes these days are pretty wild.
So this is the business model that a lot
Gonna have a
of
deluxe
companies
edition
use
and a
for
battle pass and like season and
And
like
you can expect to see 3 different levels of battle passes pretty much for the indefinite future. What's super? Yeah, extra super premium. That's called being on G2G. Greed? Yes, you could say it's greed. You can call, I mean, like, it doesn't really matter what you call it there, right? Because you still have to deal with it. It works, yes, it
And
works.
yes,
That's
for
why
those
they
of you
do it.
that do not know or may have forgotten, Diablo 4 is going to have a battle pass based off strictly cosmetics as far as we know right now.
Yes, that's good.
Now moving on to the next one, players who want to
Not
pre-order the Ultimate
acceptable.
Edition are looking at a very big $100 price tag.
Ooh.
damn.
To be fair, it's actually not $100. It's $99.99. So it's not really $100. So it's a bit less.
The Ultimate Edition has only 2 differences from the Digital Deluxe Edition. Instead of the Premium Season Battle Pass, players will receive an Accelerated Seasonal Battle Pass update.
Let's refer back to the picture that I just made a couple of minutes ago.
I see.
Every single game does this. And you know why? It's because it works.
Unlock, which includes
Disarma.
an additional 20 gear skips and cosmetics. The second difference is that the Ultimate Edition also gives players the Wings of the Creator emote. Besides the
If this be
and
as
lastly,
I
for you
will.
collectors out there, you have the Physical Edition. And it's
This is not no game included. You
Okay,
buy
let's
a
see what this guy
limited
is,
collector's edition box. 'Cause who says,
Week
you know,
2,
we
try
wouldn't
fire.
collect
Nope,
it
so far just bow.
without not even getting the
Okay,
fucking
try
game.
sword. Okay, sword, that's good.
Why would they do this? I
Oh.
don't understand.
We're gonna have to come back. We might have to come back. Too much. Too much damage.
Whatsoever.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's just
Oh.
how it is. Somebody says, "Oh, yeah, I'll read this comment." A lot of people don't understand the budget
If
that goes
that
into AAA
does.
titles nowadays. They spend over $150 million on Hogwarts Legacy, and that isn't even the most expensive. This isn't me justifying 3 Battle Pass tiers, but it gives additional incentives in case the game flops. All right, let's just fucking cut it down.
Let my arrow
let's get
fly.
down to basics.
The
all right?
battle is truly joined.
You're an executive. You got stock options with the company. So if
What
the company
next?
makes more money, you get more money. How many battle pass tiers are there going to be?
Using this.
10? All of them?
The battle is
I would say at least. That's how it is.
Damn, did it just one-shot him? One-shot her?
These people are not going to leave millions of dollars.
no ice. Yes,
It's
come
just
through. Victory shall be mine.
Inflation shouldn't affect the
Victory.
game.
Out of my
The
way.
problem is that gamers don't have more disposable income than they did in 2005, whenever games went up to $70.
The battle is truly joined.
People are still poor as fuck. Wages haven't gone up, but everything else has.
Let's
How
try
many
this.
fucking things are the same price that they were in 2006?
How about you?
Basically, I remember the double stack came out at
Use
Wendy's
this.
in 2006. I went there. It was the Wendy's. Which one was it? The Wendy's. It was like I forgot where it was. But I went to the fucking Wendy's with my friend Jason, and he drove. The windows in that car, and I got a double stack the day it came out. And it was one.
Oh, ice. Yes, come through.
Coming. If thou dare.
Victory.
And I did get six places.
the logical course of action?
Yes, I'm
Oh, ice. Yes, come through. Victory shall be mine.
Yeah, you go. It's 15 bucks.
How about this?
Letting my arrow. Yeah. Letting the hunt.
Jesus.
Inflation is a bitch, but gamers don't want to pay more.
Using this.
So guess what fucking happens?
The battle is
Because the company's still going.
Coming. If
They
thou
can't get the prices. So they do it with microtransactions. That's how it is.
battle is truly joined.
That's true, brother. You let people put the kids back in the coal mines. They want to go back. They want to work.
Thank you.
Heck of $100 for his video collector box.
Red.
Animation, Oculus mousepad, automatic sanctuary,
Got one.
collector's edition artwork, and 2 Matter ones. All of these are amazing, and honestly, they would be really good to put up in your room. Don't get me wrong. Man, I really feel like
Use
they could have
this.
at least given you a physical copy of the game and maybe increase the price point to $150 instead of spending
Let's try
an
this.
additional $100 for some physical art assets. Okay, so now to break down what is the price point.
The guys that
How
work
about you?
from this side, I feel like they're too much money.
Edition new. Now, if you're on the fence about this game as a whole and simply are on a free subscription, then I would highly
Death by 1,000 cuts!
Everybody else is playing the new game. Why aren't you playing it? Oh, it's
What
just
next?
money. Why? Because you don't have any money? Oh, so you're down to an individual is less than other people's. Okay, that's right off. Well,
No, I still have so much to
duh.
use this.
That's just how the world works.
Jesus. Using like all my items.
No risk at all in spending $70 in the game. Now, for the very casual player who would play an hour here or there, without really having too much time to see this video in, I strongly recommend pre-ordering the standard Diablo 4. You get to test 2 playtest weekends coming up this month, as well as getting a really cool Light Bearers mount in the game.
Let
It's
my
great for
arrow
those dads
fly
who
and
simply don't have free time here or there,
So
or
like
the
the
people who are too
entire
busy with IRL stuff, work, family, whatever. Now, going on to the player that will
Victory shall
definitely
be
sink their
mine.
teeth in games like this and 100% be playing with a game, I would highly recommend grabbing the Digital Deluxe Edition. Gaining access to a 4-day head start is a very big deal in the launch of the game. On top of it, you get some
Oh, it absolutely is. It's a massive advantage. 4 days, you're going to be 60 in 4 days.
really great cosmetics as well. Personally, this is the route I'm going to be taking. Now, $90 is a bit steep, I'm not going to lie, but
Yeah, like
Letting the hunt.
everybody can say, I'm not getting it, I'm not going to buy it, that's not me, I won't do it. Nope, not me. But you should have lost our crap.
Coming, if thou darest.
It's just like you just look at the graph. I'm not, I'm shitting. So the graphs are paid for by, the Lost Ark graph was paid for by Lost Ark paid for this graph to make this graph. Oh, sorry, Blizzard paid Lost Ark to have this graph. How about this? Okay, that makes sense. Well, now it's all coming together.
passing up on a 4-day early access is a
Hogwarts Legacy, great example.
Let's try this.
Hogwarts Legacy. On early access.
Damn.
No, so much to
Look
Use
at all
this.
those people spending extra money. 500, was it
Have at
500,000?
you.
600,000? So over 500,000 people. You can announce how much
Victory
you
shall
want
be.
to, but it doesn't matter because other people do it anyway. Take the mask off, Bobby. What did you do with Asmongold?
Coming, if thou darest.
What do you mean? What have I said that was wrong?
Oh, ice. Yes,
Huh?
through.
What have I said?
Victory.
Nothing. I've said nothing. It's Bobby's world.
Use
You're just
this.
living in it, okay? That's it, man. And you can think as much as you want about how it's
Letting the
bad,
hunt
how
begin.
you don't like it,
This
and you can announce in Twitch chat.
Letting the hunt. Holding back nothing.
At the end of the day,
Oh, ice. Yes, I'm through.
I
No.
many years,
Letting
I
my
tried
arrow
pushing it
fly.
it didn't work.
Interesting. Oh, ice. Yes, I'm
Because
through.
it doesn't matter what my
Have at you.
They're just gonna do what they want anyway.
Out of my way.
really an option for someone that who's ready to give this game, I mean,
Oh,
practically my
ice.
life. But
Yes, I'm through.
I don't care about the battle pass at
Coming.
all personally. I do like a mount here or there, don't get me wrong. It's just not for me. Now, unless you're an absolute Diablo
Victory
fanatic,
shall be-
collector of games, digital copies and stuff like that, or you just simply have money to spend, overall the physical
Letting
copy
my
brings a
arrow
little too
fly
much
and
benefit to you. That means you'll be spending
Using this.
Put it on the wall.
Have at you.
minimum $170 to buy this and the game. And to me, that is just way too much money to be spent.
Yeah.
Overall, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so
How
excited for
much?
this game. We are actually going to dive into it.
What
We have so
next?
much content coming up for you all. We have live streams, videos, updates, guides. But all things Diablo 4.
Let's
So,
try
if you're
this.
interested and you guys want to see more, please don't forget to consider subscribing.
Come
And
in
also back to
if
that
thou
giveaway. The Comeback
darest.
Kids is doing a giveaway for a free copy of Diablo 4. So if y'all are interested, please visit the link in the description below to find out more details on how to win that. And anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be all for you until the very end. My name's Scott from the Comeback Kids. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.
Oh, ice. Yes, I'm through.
4-day access where you stay the So the 4-day early access starts on Friday, and then the actual release starts in the middle of the week. And because it's an additional incentive to get people to play the game by the early access. The reason why you think
ice.
it's rigged
Yes, I'm through.
is because it's rigged.
Victory
You're
shall be
totally
mine.
right.
How about this?
You're not crazy,
Letting my
That's
arrow
why it's
fly
happening.
true.
but nothing will change. No, nothing will change. Because
Nothing will
think about it
change.
Like this, okay? Here's what you go to the polls. You vote. Texas goes to the polls of action. He votes. That's your vote. You point Genshin Impact. How about this?
Nope, strong person. No.
No.
What next?
Point Genshin Impact.
Letting the hunt begin.
Spends 20,000.
Victory shall be.
That's why these things keep happening.
Let's try this.
Because rich people get more votes. You agree
That-
that zero decision making in the creation of the game. Much smarter people make the games that they just consume. I feel like everybody knows that they're
Letting the
not game
hunt
developers
begin.
whenever they play a game. What do you mean? So it's Tecton's fault? Yeah. That's not even. Yeah, Tecton.
Yes, I'm thinking.
I do think it's
The
a problem.
battle is truly
And I
joined.
think the game would be better off if it wasn't the case. I do. I think it's bad. Because, and again, I would do this because I'm reviewing this. How about it is common practice. So, it's
No.
to it. So, the reason why it's bad is that everybody isn't playing all
Letting
at
the
the same
hunt
time.
begin.
People that get advantages with other items, etc. And they're able to get those early, and then
Let's try
they
this.
can sell them for a higher price whenever the game actually
The battle is truly joined.
That's really what it is.
Use this.
I don't think he'd spend as much.
What
as he
next?
wants. Why are you thinking about technology? It's not about it's just a person.
Oh, ice. Yes, I'm through.
Damn. Jesus. Jesus. That was such a long fight.
I think also
Damn.
there is a
I used like
problem of
all my items.
people don't like the idea that rich people with more money than them, or just not rich people, but people with more disposable income than them, they are
life
treated
is
like
given
second-class citizens next to people
Thou
that
art
have more money. They don't like
That was crazy.
It's that simple. There's not complexity in this. Why do you feel the need to ridicule people who refuse to buy microtransactions
Come
like
in,
Diablo
my-
4 when the only solution to
the
making these games better is
the
to not play
eaters
or
of-
pay for them in the first place?
And
Because
when
I
the
think that announcing it
his-
gives people a sense of self-importance that is unwarranted and pointless.
Circle
Lives
of
in
life.
And I think that it is important to know where you stand. It is important to know where you are and to know the influence you have and simultaneously the influence you do not have. Because if you don't know those things, you are living in a delusion. And living in a delusion is always bad. That's why.
Good day.
He's mocking the idea that they feel like they're not buying it has more weight than it
Well.
does. Exactly. Unwarranted, perhaps, but I don't think it's pointless. I think the last 10 years have proven it's pointless.
Yes.
I think the price of the Ultimate Edition, there should be more included. True.
Thou
The 4 days is cool, but not actually an advantage in terms of leveling up faster than other people. They said seasons are a big deal. That's true. Yeah, it's technically true.
But
for sure. Keep up your work. Explain everything in 7 minutes. Very fucking true. Yeah, absolutely. Love videos, Diablo 4 content. Despite many advantages of pre-ordering, I think the biggest advantage of the pre-order is after the betas. We all know Blizzard and its history with its games, so maybe the ideal thing is to try the 3 open beta and decide.
Oh, the other guy's in trouble, probably.
Yeah, I think that's the case with a lot of people. That's what they're all going to do. I'm going to link you guys this video. I think it was a very good video. I liked it a lot. But what would a stream be without chatters? What if they said one thing or another? The world of today asks, held demands for interactions, to put your ideas out there. I made myself very clear. If you still don't understand it, that's not my problem. Overall, it is unfortunate the gaming has turned into this, but I think that early access for video games like this is just going to be the norm. This one with the Lord disposable income, the only viable strategy you have to reduce the progress of this is to take its reputation and tarnish it as much as possible. Yeah, but people that go out of their way to make a game
It's a good day for back. Now then,
other people and they just think that it's just better. Like nobody sees somebody and like constantly sitting on a game because of microtransactions. So they just look like
with each battle, I grow stronger.
Jesus.
don't talk
Because I'm in a because you know
Oh shit.
Ninja, shut up.
Do you like Destiny or no?
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's I know we probably have the same opinion about him. We disagree about pretty much everything. Destiny has soy boy beliefs, but I like the fact that he can actually engage in debate.
I don't like how he calls Andrew a rapist though. I don't like that at all.
He's lying about that. It's cope because Andrew and Tristan, they go against literally everything he believes in. So he needs. These people don't care about Tate being a sex trafficker. They just hate Andrew. They just need Andrew to be locked up. It has nothing to do with him being an evil person. They don't even care about any of the victims. They're just glad that the fact that Andrew is locked up so that their entire belief system can't be debunked by one guy now.
Gotcha.
So he's not coming. He's not gonna come on debate. Did he reply to you?
Destiny will come on. He said he wants to talk to us. But yeah, nah, man. I don't think I'm gonna get Moist critical. I don't think he's gonna be opening to do that, bro. He didn't reply to me when I hit him.
He's ducking, man. He's ducking, bro. I mean, if you duck a fight, that's one thing. Ducking a debate after making a video, when I'm banned on YouTube, like people are saying, oh,
yeah, the sneak him in like ducking a lot of fights though.
I'm gonna be honest, Sneeko, he owns you. Just take your L. Listen, not in a debate. Sneeko, he owns you. Listen, just listen. He brought out a whole gun, bro.
Then why is he not here? Why is he not here?
Maybe he just doesn't want to give it attention. Maybe I don't know. Listen, it's his own thing. Bro, Moist Critical brought out an AK-47, bro, with like 6-round mag, clip, extended mag, with camos and fucking whatever, bro. Like, come on, bro. He did, and he said mags, dumbass. It was just funny. I don't know. I laughed.
Mags, clips, and mags. Well, actually, it's a mag. That's what. Let's go and talk about cuties. Let's talk about what you stand for. What I wanted to go and talk to him about is what exactly do you stand for? Aiden, maybe you can answer this question too, because I've been watching a lot of these people. KSI's been talking shit about me. L3, a lot. All these people that I watched like back in the day before I was even a YouTuber are now talking shit about me. But if there's one simple question that they never answer.
I like KSI. Wait, go ahead. I like him a lot. He's cool.
Fine. What do they stand for?
They just do their content.
I think that might be it for now. I'm gonna go get something to eat for a little bit. I might be back later though. Alright, thank you for anyone who's watching. Please like and subscribe if you can, please. Thank you.
There's more programming than ever. More people are believing in garbage. So you cannot invest time. Listen, you cannot invest time watching people who do not stand for anything. The reason I like you is because you